Take back your power. You can create a happiest version of yourself. You can have the life that your heart desires and not stay stuck at the level you are right now, and not to work so hard and not see the result you desire. So many people, they work so hard, but they don't see the change. They don't see the result they desire. And this is what we're going to talk today. And I'm going to address the main reason why you're stuck right now in this level and what to do to fix the situation and get the desire of your heart. Then stay with me, because today what you're going to learn to the end, it's going to help you to take back your power, to not stay victim of where you are right now, and to see the result that you always desire to have.
Hi, it's Dr. Martine Wilkie, and welcome to Be Limitless podcast.
Welcome to this show. I'm Dr. Martine Wilkie, and since 33 years, I'm helping people to transform their life, to see the result, their heart desire, and to fulfill the goals they want in their life. And today I'm going to address this subject with you because it's a subject I love so much: to take back your power. You were not created to stay victim. You were not created to survive. You were created at the image of God and come in this life to have a good life, an abundance life, to fulfill your dream, your desire, to fulfill yourself, who you are. And for that, we have to understand that some spiritual law said that you have in life according to what you believe, according to your faith. And so men think in his heart so easy. This is why we grew up in an environment that tried to program us to have a certain level of success or to survive. Maybe you went through tough experience, trauma, different things in your life, but you're not called to stay stuck there. You are created at the image of God, and you can change the result in your life. And it started with my own life many years ago. I was stuck with torment with food all the time, gaining weight, losing weight, divorce, all kind of stuff in my life that happened to the day I realized that I had the power to not wish and hope that someday, somewhere, some way, something will change, but to take control of my life and not be defined by my past, not be defined, not be the product of my past, of what people said about me, think about me, but to create the life I wanted. And since 33 years, I'm helping people to create the life they want. You are a creator. And right now, you can change your life and your future by the decision you're going to take today. And I want to address something that almost nobody talk about it. Your spirit, soul, and body. You are spiritual living and experience here, and you have your psyche, your mind, your belief system, your subconscious mind. You have your brain, that the way your brain was programmed to reproduce the same pattern and result. You have the epigenetic science that prove in the neuroscience that in your blood you have the memory of generation, and your spiritual having experience here in the natural. And if you understand, like the law of gravity that you don't see, it's invisible, but it's working for everybody. You have spiritual law of success that work for everybody. And if you learn that, you're going to start to become so much powerful, because you're going to come back to your real posture, your posture to be a creator and create the life you want, and to do after that, the 4D, the lasting, the right action. But the majority of people, they work more on the output than the input. You have to understand, if you want to see your life be transformed, if you want to take back your power, you need to start to work in yourself. You grew up in an environment that saw all kinds of words. And life and death is in the power of our tongue. And what you receive, words by repetition, program your subconscious mind to believe one way, and 95% of the result in your life come from your subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind was programmed by the repetition that what you received, what you saw, what you experienced, and created your belief system with your brain, the way that it just react, and the way that you act with the spiritual law and the natural. But right now, if you understand that you will program yourself with your psycho, neuro, spiritual in action, you're going to start to create the life that you always desired. This is what happened with me. I was tormented with food, weight problem, diets all the time. And I realized my problem was not the external. The output was only the manifestation of the input. And I started to work on my psycho, my neuro, my spiritual, and my action. And everything started to change. My identity. I started to change my identity and say, I'm not this person anymore. I'm already the person free and slim, and started to act like way, think like way. My belief system, and by repetition, believing myself and assuming that I was already this person to create this person. You never get in life according to what you hope and wish. You receive enough according to who you are. And more you transform who you are, more you're going to see the result in your life. And this is why in the neuroscience and the epigenetic, a lot of stuff, and this is the main point I want to just give you right now. First thing, and the main things, why you're stuck, why other people are moving forward and you don't see the result in your life. You work so hard and you don't see the change. You would like to live the life of your dream. You would like to succeed the purpose of your life, your destiny, to succeed your dreams, your desire, but you don't see the change. You don't see the result. You don't see the transformation. And this is something I learned in my life the hard way, and I want to share that with you, that nobody talk about that. I wrote a book that it's called Activate Heaven on Earth with the Limitless Interface. And in this book, I talk about a hacker that is working behind the scene, trying to contaminate and steal your life, what you're supposed to produce to function well, to have result in your life. And if you don't understand that you are the interface and you are the portal between heaven and earth, and you have a hacker working behind the scene, that you look at other people, they seem to have success, it's easy for them, but you are fighting a resistance that other people maybe they don't have to fight in their life. And this is why I created the Success and Money Ceiling Breaker Library, to help you to understand the psycho, neuro, and spiritual system with the right action strategy to apply to change your life and to fulfill your dreams, to have the life you desire. I felt for everything in my life, and I understood how to do it. And this is why I wrote this book and I built this library to help you to succeed the life you want. Not the life I want, the life you want. The life that you desire. You have one life to live. And this is why you have this money and success ceiling breaker library that you can have right now. $1 per course, 20 courses, $20 for 20 courses to help you to understand what is going on. The neuroscience, prove what I'm teaching, the psycho, the spiritual, and the right strategies. I'm a businesswoman. Faith without action is dead. You need to understand what to do in the natural, but 80% of the result comes from the invisible, the psycho, the neuro, the spiritual. When you understand the 4 dimensions all together and you apply it in your life, you're going to start to have the result you want. This is how I started to have the weight that I wanted, the marriage, the money, the result, the health, the dream life, the lifestyle, everything. And I'm there for you. Take this course and you're going to be amazed how your life will change if you apply the principle. And it's time to take back your power. You have voices from generation that try to keep you trapped at the same loop and repetition of the generation before. Same pattern. Same anxiety, same fear, same kind of words coming back in your mind all the time. Who do you think you are? You don't deserve that. You're never going to make it. It's for other people, not for you. And all kind of words that you hear all the time that come from where? The science proves now. It comes from the bloodline. And these voices in the blood talk to you that try to keep you stuck and remove from you the power that you receive. And you cannot conquer what you don't confront, and you cannot confront what you don't identify. Then if you think that these voices are just your voice, you're going to be stuck there and try to struggle against yourself. But you're not wrestle against flesh and blood. You have to understand that these voices come from generation that they received this lie and transmitted to you this lie. That you're just worth to have this level of success. You don't deserve that. You're never going to make it. It's going to be a struggle all the time. All this kind of voices that you receive day after day, that just keep your brain, your cycle, your belief system at the same state. And day after day, you think the same things, you repeat the same thing. You think the same thing, you repeat the same thing. Because it's written, so a man think in his heart, so easy. What you think by repetition, this is what you create. What you think with repetition, this is what you are and what you're going to be. Then if you don't change that, and deeper than just believing this is your fault, this is your problem, this is who you are, this is not your fault, this is not who you are, and this is not just the way it is. This is what you receive from the bloodline. This is a kind of lies that your bloodline received. And these voices continue to talk to you in your blood. The epigenetic science prove by the memory of what the experience you receive. That doesn't make sense in your logic, but this is what you feel. And what you feel, this is what you're going to create. And this is why you're so much more powerful, because you have all kind of desires and dreams and everything that you want, and you want to manifest that in the natural, in the visible. You want to see in the physical realm the manifestation of your dream and desire. But because you are the interface between your desire, what it is invisible right now, what you have in your heart, your desire, that has to go through you to be manifested in the natural. And you have the power to reprogram your mind. You have the power to reprogram your belief system. You have the power to reprogram you, to rewire your brain. You have the power to understand the spiritual law, the ancient codes that create success. And you have the power to do the right actions. And this is why when you understand that you have the power to change your life, you're not called to be victim of what people they said about you or where you come from. You're choosing to change the story of your bloodline. And when you understand that, when I understood, okay, I received from generation the problem with weight. I received the problem with torment with food and addiction. In my family, they had all kind of addiction. But I realized that I had the power to rewire my brain to think another way, my subconscious mind, my feeling, my soul, and to reprogram and enforce and understand, okay, if I have a problem there, is the source is inside, and these voices from generation talk to me all the time. The food noise come from where? From generation. And I received this food noise in my life. And I realized, okay, if I identify these voices talking to me about food all the time, I feel that I want to eat all the time. I'm going to do everything I need to do to reprogram myself, to conquer these voices, to have power over these voices, and to establish my voice over these voices. This is very important. You have all kind of voices coming against you, against your success, against your confidence, against your value, against your money. You have money voices, you have confident voices, you have all kind of voices. And this is why you need to understand these voices does not come from you. They don't come from you. They come from the generation. Everything in life is cyclical. Everything is about pattern. Look at the fashion. What is popular? It's coming back. The economy is cyclical. Everything, music, it's cyclical. Bam, many years ago, come back to the next generation, cyclical. And this is why you need to understand these voices are cyclical. And if you realize that, you can conquer what you don't confront, you can confront what you don't identify. You don't identify that these voices is not your voice. Then you're going to take back your power. And when you take back your power, it's to say, these voices, maybe they control my family before, but I see you. I identify you. You talk to me. You want to control me. But you're not going to do with me like you have done with my family. And I'm going to conquer these voices. I'm going to do what? I'm going to change my belief system according to what is the truth and not to your lie. I'm going to reprogram my subconscious mind by repetition of the truth and reprogram myself according to who I am and not where I come from. Not what they said about me. I have the power. I'm not going to let my past to control my future. I'm not going to let the people in my past control my life and my future. I'm not going to stay victim of what they sowed in my life, what they have done in my life, and these voices that I receive in my blood. I'm going to create the life I desire. And for that, I'm going to reprogram my mind. I'm going to rewire my brain. I'm going to rewire my action to take massive action opposed to these voices. You want to push me to do that? I'm going to do stuff opposed to that. I'm going to be rebel to these voices. You need to note that when I started to be free, I started to be rebel against these voices. You want me to eat? And I'm not hungry, I'm not going to eat. I started to be a rebel and do massive action opposed to these voices. And to reprogram myself, I'm not what you said I was. I am who I say I am right now. I'm already this person. And start to implement the spiritual law about assumption, manifestation, vision, imagination, confession, all kind of laws that I explain in my book. If you don't have my book, Activate Heaven on Earth, this book. I invite you to take this book right now because 18 laws are explained then to take back the power of your life. 30 seconds to share with you my brand new book, Activate Heaven on Earth with the Limitless Interface. You need this book if you want to activate the life of your dreams and you're tired to work so hard and don't see the breakthrough, don't see the change. You need to understand the psycho-neuro-spiritual system that I explain in this book with the right action strategies to manifest the dream that you have, the desires that you have, and to see the next level of wealth, success, abundance, and destiny for your life. You have one life to live, and you can maximize this life if you understand these principles and you apply it in your life. Then click on the link, get this book. You're going to be amazed by all the information and also the system to apply to see the transformation in your life. Then with all of that, these voices try to affect your mind. These voices try to affect your belief system. These voices try to affect your identity. These voices try to affect your brain, the way your brain sees things. Your RAS is affected by these voices. In neuroscience, we explain that. In the law, the spiritual law, like the law of gravity, these voices try to push you to break some spiritual law of success. And if you break this law will break you. And this is why you're stuck in the same loop. The food noise, the money noise, all kind of noise that you receive in your soul, you have the power to demolish these voices. And when you stop to feed these voices, they start to starve. When you stop to feed these voices, they just have to disappear. And more you realize that, you take back the power of your life. Your soul, who you are, is higher than that. And your soul, who you are, was created to be limitless. But these voices train you to be limited. And it's time to take back your power, recognize that you cannot conquer what you don't identify, and start to reprogram your mind, your brain, all your soul, who you are, with the spiritual line, the right action opposed to that, and you're going to start to take back your power because you're not called to stay victim, you're not called to stay at this level, and you can and you will create the life of your dream. Remember, you're limitless, and it's time right now to learn how to experience this life that you were always created to have. I bless you.